Next one, we have Blaze. Let's pull up Blaze. Blaze. Blaze was originally introduced in the main plot of Arknights. She is an elite operator, as in she's part of the most elite squad in Rhodes Island. She is a chronic drinker. She is the Black Cat Mommy. She's a lawful good character that's kind of like the big sister to Amiya. She's an elite operator. She's the big sister figure of Amiya and Rosmontis. She was definitely one of the first chainsaw wielders in the game. When she first shows up, she heated up the air and used that as a cushion to land, after jumping out of a plane with no parachute. She is that badass. Oh, her character design is based off the Nekomata. So far, she's only appeared in the major Lungmen arc of Arknights. She's appeared in when they went to Sargon, but she didn't really have a major role there either. She was just there to show off in her unreleased summer skin, which never got released. Hello, Hypergriff. Why do you design skins if you don't release them? She has a role in Ambient Synesthesia, which is the IRL musical concert that Hypergriff hosts for Arknights. It's not really an in-game story thing. Because she appears in the main plot, she is already at minimum C tier. She doesn't have any notable character progression, like she doesn't change much whenever we see her. We see her ride or die for the infected, and she stays ride or die with the infected when we last see her. Her other main relationship is between Greythroat. They're rivals in Rhodes Island because Greythroat was a major infected racist, and so basically they're at odds with each other. So she's the major antagonistic relationship we have for Blaze. And not much beyond that. She gets drunk all the time. She had a major connection with Ace. Everything we know about Ace is post his death, because Ace died very early on in Arknights, and everything we've learned about him has been through the stories of other characters talking about him. Blaze is very good. She's a fan favorite. Unfortunately, her character hasn't had the opportunity to develop that much within the story. There are way too many characters in this game. Not all of them can get stories, so this is why I also understand that Hypergriff is making alters of existing characters now, because that's a way for them to continue stories without just creating more and more characters which they can't write for. So I'm fine with that. Anyway, Blaze is at minimum C. We're filling up an A, C, and E. Nothing in between. We could still change these later on, if we want. She is tentatively in C. Are we gonna change anyone? I don't quite think so. I honestly think maybe Hoshiguma is... Thinking about it now, seeing Hoshi with Helliger and Blaze kind of feels wrong. Hoshi has had more plot relevance, especially with Swire and the other Lungmen girls, so I will put her in lower B. She gets upgraded to lower B. Let's go to Ak. He is the only geek that we have right now. There's going to be another geek released soon. She's gonna be a Sancta. Ak is part of Lee's detective agency. He is the wild card of the group. He has a lot of good skins. He hasn't had any major participation in any of the major Lungmen storylines. Lee's detective agency is usually isolated from Penguin Logistics and the LGD. They're usually on their own. He has major relationships with Lee, with Jay, with Waifu, with... what's his name? The furry himbo. I forgot his name. He's the wild card of their group. Most of his story and character is actually not from in-game, but from his animated series, Lee's Detective Agency. Very cute, very funny. He is very well written out. I don't really have much thing to say about him. Furries may get mad at me for this, but I'm gonna say he's kinda in lower C, upper D tier for me. I don't have any connection with Ak. I'm not that familiar with his story. I'ma just say Ak is more of a lower C, upper D. Let's just put him in upper D, just so we could fill out the tier list. I don't really have much to say about him. If people could explain the appeal of Ak, sure, why not? Go ahead. Here we go with Nian. Nian? Meow? Fun fact, Nian was actually the character that got me into Arknights. She was the one that I first saw and was like, wow, the character design in this game, S tier. So she was my very first waifu in Arknights. She was what got me into it. And luckily I got her on the off-rate pool of the Blue Woman banner. I was hunting for the Blue Woman, but I also wanted Nian from it, and I just spent an extra 100 pulls on it and got her. Easy. So, Nian. She is a Sui sibling, which means that her and her siblings are pseudo-reincarnations of their Farenmut god form. Because originally in the world of Arknights, Farenmuts ruled the lands, but then they got hunted down by Yan, because Yan didn't want to get threatened by the Farenmuts and whatnot. So, the Farenmut that was originally the form of the Sui siblings, they betrayed all the other Farenmuts, and they partnered up with Yan so they could, betray all their brethren. All the rest were hunted to near extinction, and that's why Farenmuts nowadays, in the world of modern Arknights, they're all in hiding. Her character's main theme is that she is a metallurgist, she is a blacksmith, she creates a lot of things, she creates a lot of weaponry. She was said to have created multiple land ships for the country of Yan. And she apparently has a special ability where she could just create things out of thin air. I'm not sure if I misremember this, but I think there was a part in the plotline. She created the Terracotta Army for Yan, and that's how Yan has never been defeated by any other country in the world of Terra. So she is that powerful, she just wants to spend all day watching B-movies and make shitty B-movies. So she is a very powerful character. She is very intertwined with the ancient history of Terra. The Goofy movie event involving her with lava. And then every single Chinese New Year event moving forward up to now is involving the Sui siblings. So, we are never gonna get rid of her. Nian is the first Sui sibling that decided that they should get the siblings back together. One of their older brothers is plotting to make his return. He's kind of evil. It's a lot of philosophical stuff about the nature of their existence, their individuality, because they're just technically splits of the same one being. Anyway, that's all that. We have our Chinese New Year skin. Nian is a very important character. I think, just because Nian was my first waifu, here we are already with my irrational takes. Because Nian was my first waifu, she goes immediately in S tier. Oh, the other blue woman. There are a lot of blue women in this game. Oh boy, what do we say about Chen? What isn't there to say about Chen? Chen has been involved since the very early chapters of Arknights. She is directly tied into the main story. She is the ex-superintendent of Lemme, and now she is an operator working with Rhodes Island. She has connections with the most powerful people in and around Lemme. But I feel like we've already seen the end of her arc. So right now, Chen is in that weird limbo where we don't really know what role they'll give her moving forward. Because she was supposed to be the one that took down Tallulah. What's his name? The Black Snake? I forgot his name, so I'll just call him the Black Snake. The Black Snake is technically an entity that has existed throughout Terra for a very long time. He's not a Farenmut god, and he possesses people, and that's how he keeps remaining technically immortal. And the Black Snake has done a lot of things throughout Terra. He's probably responsible for a lot of conflicts in Terra. So that's where her character is right now. She had a major role to play versus the first reunion movement. Tallulah got free though because of Nian. Nian apparently has a connection with Chen, which we haven't seen covered yet. She's Amiya's mentor figure. We're not gonna be covering her altar here right now. So yeah, Chen is definitely out there. She's already minimum B tier. She's at least A tier because of her major participation in the main story. They haven't really gone too deep into her sword, but it's basically very important. There's a lot of stuff to do with Chen. Right now she's in limbo because the main story is taking place in Victoria. It involves more of the Sarkaz than it involves the Black Snake. I say we put Chen. Chen is at minimum A tier. Is she higher than Saria? Yes, definitely. I say we put Scotty higher than Saria. Mastima's lower A tier, and I think that's good. Chen is upper A tier and she is borderline S tier. It's just that she's still in limbo right now. She still has ways to go with her character. So far, she's an upper A tier. Okay.